Did you climb monkey bars in the playground when you were a kid? What about the seesaws or teeter-totters? Those are some playground equipment from the 70s that have disappeared over time. There are also other nostalgic playground equipment from the 70s that we don't get to see anymore, and one of them is log rolls. Imagine the thrill of standing atop a giant log that spun underfoot, daring you to keep your balance as it rolled. These log rolls, or rolling pins, were a true test of agility. Kids would scramble to stay upright, their friends cheering them on as they balanced on the moving cylinder. Falls were frequent, and bruises were almost a guarantee. But the pride in mastering the log roll was worth every scrape. Often kids would try again and again, determined to conquer this spinning challenge. Eventually, these beloved log rolls faded from playgrounds, but the memory of wobbling, gripping tightly, and laughing with friends lives on as a symbol of the daring spirit of 1970s playgrounds. What was riskier than rolling logs? Hold on tight, because next up is a ride that could send you flying through the air. Concrete or metal animal rockers. Perched on metal, animals mounted on heavy springs, kids would sway back and forth, bouncing along on everything from ducks to horses. Holding tightly to the animal's head, children would pretend they were riding off on grand adventures, their imaginations fueled by the rhythmic rocking. But these rockers were tricky. The strong springs could send kids flying off if they weren't careful. Falls were common, but we'd always get back on, eager to feel the thrill again. Over time, these metal rockers were replaced with softer, safer versions, but they remain a cherished memory of simpler, joy-filled times. What about an experience that tested not only your strength, but your nerves, leaving you dangling high in the air, questioning whether you could make it to the top? Giant straddle climbers. Climbing the towering straddle climbers felt like conquering a mountain. The dome-shaped metal structures required bravery and balance, as kids carefully navigate their way to the top. With wide spaces between bars, each step was a thrilling risk, especially with the hard ground waiting below. Kids would race to see who could climb the highest, gripping the cool metal bars with excitement. Eventually, playgrounds opted for safer designs, but for those who dared to climb these giants, the thrill of reaching the peak lives on in memory. And now, picture something even more unpredictable, something that spun you into a dizzying blur, leaving you laughing or screaming as you held on for dear life. The witch's hat was the wild ride of the playground. Kids would grab onto the cone-shaped frame and spin, feeling each rock and tilt as friends tried to spin it faster. Without secure handholds, it was easy to get flung off if you weren't holding tight. Yet the chaos and laughter kept drawing us back, eager to see who could hold on the longest. Though these were removed for safety reasons, the witch's hat remains unforgettable, a thrilling symbol of playground freedom and the wild, dizzying fun that defined the era. Speaking of dizzying heights, what could top that? How about a ride that tested your strength and left you hanging? Literally. Monkey bars tested courage and strength. Moving hand over hand across the metal bars, kids would challenge themselves to make it from one side to the other without falling. Suspended above hard surfaces, every slip held the risk of bruises or scrapes, but our determination to succeed was undeniable. Completing a full crossing felt like a victory, a badge of honor. Over time, monkey bars were redesigned and lowered for safety. But for those who grew up on these high bars, the feeling of swinging and gripping each rung remains a source of playground pride. But could anything match the exhilaration of soaring to new heights, feeling the rush of wind as you pushed yourself higher and higher? Few things matched the joy of soaring on high swings. With long chains that allowed for impressive height, kids would pump their legs furiously, feeling the wind whip through their hair as they swung higher and higher. Some daring ones even leaped off mid-swing, launching into the air just for the thrill. While the risk of falls was real, the freedom and exhilaration of flying high outweighed any fear. Today's swings are lower and safer, but for those who remember those towering arcs, high swings symbolize a simpler, wilder time of playground adventures. And now, imagine a ride where trust was essential, a seesaw that relied on teamwork, but could give you quite a jolt if your partner wasn't careful. Seesaws, or teeter-totters, were all about trust and teamwork. Kids would hop on, balancing each other as they went up and down, giggling with every bounce. But one wrong move, like a partner jumping off suddenly, could send the other crashing down painfully. Despite the risks, seesaws were adored, a playground classic that offered shared fun and a bit of daring. Over time, they were redesigned for safety, but the thrill of going up and down with a friend remains a special childhood memory. Could anything be more daring than this? The next stop on our tour was a true test of bravery and endurance. The towering jungle gyms of the 1970s were more than just playground equipment. They were adventure courses. Kids would climb to dizzying heights, navigating different levels and challenging their bravery. With hard ground below, every slip held the potential for serious injury. Yet this risk only fueled the excitement. Reaching the top was a feat of courage and determination, a reward for taking the chance. Though playgrounds today are filled with smaller, safer structures, those towering jungle gyms remain a symbol of fearless fun and a test of daring childhood spirit. And now, a dizzying favorite that had us all holding on with every ounce of strength. Nothing captured the thrill of playground chaos like the merry-go-round. Kids would jump on, grab a bar, and hold tight as friends spun them faster and faster. The centrifugal force made it difficult to hold on, and many would eventually be flung off, landing in a heap with laughter and maybe a few bruises. While dizzying and even dangerous, the joy of spinning wildly was irresistible. Today, merry-go-rounds are rare, but for those who experienced their wild spins, they stand as a testament to the carefree spirit of the 1970s playgrounds. Finally, we've reached the iconic ride, the thrill of summer days and sun-drenched afternoons. The shiny metal slide was the king of the playground, a must-try for every kid. Long, steep, and often blazing hot under the sun, it offered an unforgettable, thrilling rush. Kids would line up to race down, squealing as they felt the rush of speed. But in the summer heat, the metal could burn bare skin, and with no guardrails, kids had to be extra careful on the descent. These slides were gradually replaced by safer, plastic versions, but the memory of gliding down those towering metal slides on a hot summer day is forever etched in the minds of those who experienced them. Which of these playground memories sticks with you the most? Drop your favorite moments in the comments, and let's keep the spirit of play alive together.